I am the child of nature. I am the seed of life. I will grow up to complete my destiny. I will inhale your toxins. I will exhale and give you air. I will give you shade from the burning sun and shelter from the storms above. I will feed you, dress you, and protect you. I will be there for you, even in my death. And even when you hurt me, burn me, and kill me, I know I must be there for you. For without me, you cannot be.
A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 25th National Science and Technology Forum Awards. I'm your host, Zai Khan. I must admit, this National Science and Technology Forum Awards is a little bit different. The main thing is that we are virtual. The most important thing that you can do right now is work towards preventing the spread of the coronavirus by staying at home. Before we begin the awards, we would like to play a few special messages. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the chairman of the National Science and Technology Forum, Professor Ali Danse.
Good evening. The program and presentation may be virtual, but I assure you that the winners, trophies and participants are real. Unfortunately, you have to organize your own food and drink this time. Before the formal welcome to the awards, allow me to share some personal thoughts. We pay tribute to Dr. Xolani Mkhwanazi, past NSTF chairman and the first NSTF Akwasi Award winner, who sadly passed on early this year. The COVID-19 pandemic affected the scientific community early on when Prof. Geeta Ramji sadly succumbed to the virus. We remember colleagues, their families, and all who have been affected by the pandemic, including the frontline health workers. The NSTF adapted to this situation by adopting the virtual format for celebrating the awards, a case of living the oxymoron of together apart. A few years ago, I mentioned the sorry state that the world was in. I described it as the world being in tumult, one that has issues directly relevant to the SET and innovation communities, for example, scientific freedom. Against this background, the world was blindsided by the 100 nanometer SARS coronavirus, placing a sharp spotlight on the whole world, and specifically on the scientific, academic, and health profession communities. Experts were humbled by this virus and had to backtrack on many occasions. This was okay, as science is and should be self-adjusting. Pandemic news flooded social media, conspiracy theories thrived, and trust in science was under threat. The bulwark against these challenges is to retain one's integrity, not compromise on principles and values, personal or scientific, be aware of one's weaknesses, be ready to change one's opinion based on evidence and scientific rigor. There is no place for hubris and arrogance. Let us exhibit humility and humanity in our actions. In the wake of current events, how prescient was my 2017 message about standing up for science in the era of Trump, where it was said that one should be fair but challenging, critical but constructive. The BMJ editorial continued, at this early stage, it seems unlikely that the administration will change its course and promote open discourse based on respect for scientific evidence and data. Arguments, whichever side of the debate they fall on, should be based on data, evidence, and ultimately the scientific method. Clinicians, researchers, and policymakers need independent evidence and open debate. Doesn't this sound familiar now? The national system of innovation community needs to rise to the challenges and fly the flag of scientific integrity, values, and excellence. I implore that scientific inquiry in South Africa and elsewhere is nurtured, supported, and enhanced so that, among others, our current winners and finalists can have a cadre of scientists and researchers to follow in their footsteps. Now to the formal welcome of this evening. Good evening, Sambunani, Dumelang, Molweni, Goeienaand, Wamkele Kile. Welcome to the 2019-2020 NSTF South 32 Awards. On behalf of the NSTF Executive Committee and Board of Directors, it is my pleasure to welcome you to the awards in its 22nd year. This year, we also celebrate the NSTF's 25th anniversary. The theme of the awards is Plant Health in recognition of the International Year of Plant Health 2020. A special welcome is extended to the Honourable Minister of Higher Education, Science and Innovation, Dr. Bonginkosi Emmanuel Blade Nzimande, the guest of honour and official patron of the award celebration, and the Deputy Minister, the Honourable Buti Manamela. Minister Nzimande, we look forward to your keynote address this evening. And to the Director General, Dr. Phil Majwacha, thank you and your departmental officials. The NSTF is highly appreciative of the unwavering support received from the Ministry over the years and looks forward to continuing this relationship. I also recognize members from the diplomatic community and diplomatic corps. I encourage you to read the Chair's message in the Wuzu booklet to access specific names and details. Our co-branding sponsors, South 32, award sponsors, the awards adjudication panel, the review panel, and the Executive Director of the NSTF, Jansi Niehaus, ably assisted by Ms. Wilna Ekstein and her team, as well as the awards committee. NSTF Executive Committee members and directors of the NSTF Board, presidents and CEOs, heads and senior executives of science councils, vice-chancellors, DVCs, deans, heads of department and staff at all universities, civil society members and organizations, all senior government officials, the awards finalists for this year, and definitely the winners later tonight. Brilliant students, distinguished guests, including partners and family members. Through the NSTF Awards, the NSTF recognizes and rewards excellence in science, engineering, and technology in South Africa. We are glad that you, our constituents and supporters, are able to share in the celebration of these major accomplishments. And not to end on a pessimistic note, we celebrate tonight the achievements of a tenacious scientists and big thinkers. Congratulations to the winners and finalists of the 2019-2020 NSTF South 32 Awards. We celebrate with you and thank you for your superb contributions to science, engineering, technology, and innovation in South Africa. Lastly, thank you to the nominees, as well as their host institutions and organizations, for nurturing the talented practitioners in science, technology, and innovation. The important thing, as Albert Einstein said, is not to stop questioning. Thank you. Ngozi, Ngiyabonga, Kyalibuka, Danki. Do enjoy the rest of the program. Stay safe and well.
And for tonight's Science and Technology Oscars, as it's fondly known, we'd like to welcome the Diplomatic Corps, the High Commissioner of the Commonwealth of Australia, Her Excellency Ms. Geetha Kamath, the Ambassador of Georgia, His Excellency Mr. Beka Diwali, the High Commissioner of the Republic of Kenya, Her Excellency Ms. Jean Njeri Kamau, the Acting High Commissioner of the Democratic Republic of Sri Lanka, Her Excellency Priyangani Hewaratna, and the United Nations Resident Coordinator in South Africa, Ms. Nado Bekele Thomas. Congratulations to the United Nations on their 75th anniversary. We also extend a warm welcome to representatives from the Embassy of Sweden, Science and Technology Councillor, Ms. Jacqueline Friedenthal, and the DG of Science and Innovation, Dr. Philemon Mjwaha. Now, all the glitz and glamour has been made possible by South 32. Please welcome their Chief Operating Officer and a good friend of the National Science and Technology Forum, Mr. Mike Fraser.
Good evening. Honourable Minister of Higher Education, Science and Technology, Dr. Bladen Zamandi, Director General of the Department of Science and Innovation, Dr. Phil Mjwara, the Chairman of the National Science and Technology Forum, Professor Ali Danse, the Executive Director of the NSTF, Ms. Yancy Niehaus, the Executive Committee of the NSTF, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. My name is Mike Fraser. I'm the Chief Operating Officer of South 32. Thank you for inviting me again to speak today at today's event. It's a real honor for us to sponsor the NSTF South 32 Awards and to celebrate NSTF's 25th anniversary. I want to congratulate the NSTF and everyone who has worked so hard to bring us all together and celebrate tonight, albeit virtually. The irony is not lost on us that without technology and science, the excellent event simply wouldn't have been possible this year. For those who may not be familiar with South 32, allow me a minute to give you a brief overview. South 32 is a globally diversified mining and metals company. We operate in Australia, South America, and in Southern Africa. We produce aluminium in KwaZulu-Natal and Mozambique, manganese in the Northern Cape, and coal in Mpumalanga here in South Africa. At South 32, our purpose is to make a difference by developing natural resources, improving people's lives now and for generations to come. We are trusted by our owners to realize the potential of their resources. We know that we can make a significant contribution to our society by investing in and working with our communities. Our community investment focuses on 4 key areas. Firstly, education and leadership, economic participation, health and social well-being, and natural resource resilience. Education is the foundation of economic and social prosperity and supports the development of emerging and future community leaders. That's why we have invested millions of rands in South Africa, including building of schools, helping construct a maths, science and technology academy to help teachers and students improve their skills and lift student participation and performance, as well as funding the Maths and Science Learner Incubator Program in partnership with Star Schools. Through our local scholarships, graduate programs and traineeships, we are helping building the mining industry's future talent pipeline. Many of the young people being honored here tonight will be our future leaders and will go on to achieve great things. To those of you who are part of the Brilliance program, you can make a real and positive and lasting difference to the world around you. And I truly hope that you grab these opportunities that come your way as you pursue your career in STEM. We are also very lucky to be here tonight in the company of some of the greatest scientific minds in South Africa. People whose drive, enthusiasm, and dedication to their subject helps them push boundaries in science and technology, several of whom are central to our country's current fight against COVID-19. Tonight, I also want to pay a very special tribute to our friend and colleague, Dr. Kalani Mkonazi, who passed away in January. Without Kalani's contribution, we would not be celebrating NSTF's 25th anniversary today. Much as with the NSTF, Kalani was central to establishing South 32, having joined our board in July 2015, following a distinguished executive career at BHP Billiton and our South African aluminium business. Kalani was an inspirational leader, a proud South African and compatriot, with a great sense of what was right. He was also a leading figure in science education. He was much admired, and we all miss him greatly. His humor, kindness, and wise words. I know he would be thrilled to see these awards continuing, and it is a fitting legacy that he continues to influence the future of science, technology, and education in South Africa. In closing, to all the nominees, I wish you all the very best tonight and for your futures. You should be really proud of yourself and the achievements and the contribution you make. Thank you for your dedication to science and technology, and I hope you all have a wonderful evening. I hope next year that we can again be together to celebrate your great achievements, but I hope this time we can do it in person. Thank you and good night.
The National Science and Technology Forum is committed to changing the world through science and technology and action. And that's what the Brilliance program does. It's generously sponsored by Carl and Emily Fuchs Foundation. And to tell us more is the National Science and Technology Forum Director, Ms. Yansini House.
Good evening, MC, Minister, and all our viewers, no matter where you find yourselves. In the South African National Senior Certificate Examinations, the matric exams as we call them, there are bright sparks every year who obtain 90% and more for mathematics and physical science. Sometimes these brilliant students are paid little attention, while those grade 12s who obtain 9, 10, 11 distinctions get the limelight. Being the Science and Technology Forum, the NSTF regards the top performers in maths and science as truly worthy of celebration, regardless of what they achieved in the other subjects. Every year we give recognition to 18 such students, one young man and young woman selected from each of the 9 provinces. They must be outstanding achievers in mathematics and science, and they must also have selected to study in science-related courses, including in medicine and engineering. We call this program the NSTF Brilliance Program. We use it to recognize these top performers, but also to encourage them to go on with their course of science-related studies, to complete it, to go on to postgraduate studies, and to pursue careers in science-related fields. The NSTF recognizes the selected brilliant students of 2020 with enthusiastic virtual applause. We recognize the hard work and perseverance that you needed to get through this, and the strength of character that you needed to persist to be among the top achievers. The Department of Science and Innovation provides funding for the NSTF to award a few of these top students with bursaries or scholarships. Our sincere thanks to the department for acknowledging the achievements of these students and for recognizing the need. The Fuchs Foundation supports the Brilliance program, and I thank them for their support. I sincerely hope it will be possible to hold an awards gala dinner next year and to invite this year's Brilliance students to attend, address the audience, and include them in activities that were not possible this year. Congratulations to the 2020 Brilliance students, and may you all be successful in your studies and go from strength to strength.
A big round of virtual applause, and I can see the virtually distant hugs also going around as we congratulate our students. And from Gauteng, we have the 5 that we'd like to tell us what courses they have taken when it comes to science and technology. From Gauteng, Eileen Boot. From Mpumalanga, Dumisani Nkosi, Limpopo, Malada Wamashudu, and Mpumalanga, Sibokazi Makakula. And from the Western Cape, Alexander van der Spey, sharing what they will be looking at into the future.
What is a scientist? I believe a scientist is someone who generates new knowledge, who is a problem solver, someone who is awed by the amount of knowledge in our natural world and by that which we may never know, someone who is excited by new discoveries and seeks new ways to help humanity, someone who seeks answers to tomorrow's problems and is blessed with the skills to help those around them, someone who seeks better ways to do the things we have always done, someone who is infinitely curious. Being a scientist is about more than just working in a laboratory. It is a way of life. And I am a scientist.
My name is Joshua Nkosi. I matriculated in 2019 at Lokeputa High School in Mpumalanga, and currently I'm a first-year student at the University of Cape Town, studying mechanical and mechatronics engineering. While growing up, I used to look at things and see that things are different from the way we see them. Then while I was in my grade 10, my first time to take physics, I noticed that physics and mathematics helped me to understand things I didn't understand before. So I decided to pursue a career under engineering so that I can build, design, and create things that will be useful to this world. As we see that our world is a developing world, and we still need to contribute as South Africa to the developing world in technology also.
You all, I go by the name of Marado Mashudu, a student studying in Sefako Makatu Health Science University, once called Medunza. I am studying medicine. I attended my high school in one of the best productive and performing high school in Limpopo, called Tengu High School, a quintile 3 school found in Venda under the village of Chandama. I really feel honored by being selected by National Science and Technology Forum as one of the best performing learner in mathematics and science. I'm really looking forward for the coming years in support of National Science and Technology Forum. Thank you.
Hello everybody, my name is Sipokazi Makakula. I am 18 years old and I am from Mpumalanga province. I am a student at the University of the Witwatersrand studying towards a BSc in Mathematical Sciences. Firstly, I would like to say thank you to the NSTF for considering me worthy to be part of the Brilliance program. I never thought that one day I would find myself seated amongst pioneering researchers and sophisticated innovators this country has ever seen. 10 years ago, I never imagined myself to be exposed to this vast and complex world of science and mathematics. Living in a community that has most of its youth chained to drugs and alcohol makes it seem impossible for one to reach this world. So I am really grateful that I have been chosen to represent my school and my township, because I know that within my township there will be people, there will be youth out there who will see me and will be encouraged to escape this world and be more than what they imagined themselves to be. So with my knowledge of mathematics, I plan to change the country's perspective towards mathematics. I wish to propel this country forward, and because our future leaders and innovators depend on it. So one day I know that I, along with my country, will meet the stars and finally shake hands with the universe.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Alexandra van der Spey. I matriculated from Bloemhof Girls High in Stellenbosch and am currently studying BSc Mathematical Sciences with Computer Science as major at the University of Stellenbosch. I would firstly like to thank the National Science and Technology Forum for the honour of being invited to attend the 2020 Awards Gala event and for being considered for their Brilliance program. My being here tonight is thanks mainly to my high school physical science teacher. Her obvious passion for her subject, which went as far as having the slogan "Science makes my day" on every test paper and all over her classroom, awakened in me a love of and fascination with science. This led me to the BSc faculty and to choosing the mathematical sciences stream. Mathematics is often described as the universal language. It is what binds science, technology, and engineering together. The rate at which both technology and engineering are advancing is astonishing. It seems unbelievable that we could go from the Wright brothers' first flight in 1903 to a moon landing in 1969 to NASA's newest planet hunter discovering its first Earth-sized habitable zone world in 2019, all in little more than a century. There can be no doubt that science offers the path to a successful future for all life on Earth, a path that I believe my generation will also play a critical role in building. In closing, I would therefore like to honour all those who built on this path through the centuries, and those who continue doing so, as evidenced by tonight's Science Awards. I believe that I speak for all my fellow students here when I say that we look forward to joining your ranks.
Now, this year, the National Science and Technology Forum celebrates 25 years of bringing all that is beautiful about science and technology to your homes. Big congratulations there to the National Science and Technology Forum, and yes, to another 25 years of your success. Now, there's more star-studded science and technology news to come, but right now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Honourable Deputy Minister of Higher Education, Science and Innovation, Mr. Buti Manamela.
Thank you very much, Program Director, for the introduction. Let me firstly extend greetings to the NSTF Chair, Professor Ali Dansey, Ambassador and Diplomatic Corps, Executive Committee, and members of the National Science and Technology Forum, Executive Directors of the National Science Technology Forum, Mr. Jansi Niehaus, South 32 Chief Operating Officer, Mr. Mike Fraser, Chairman of the National Science and Technology Forum Adjudication Panel, Mr. Dennis Hunt, Vice Chancellors of universities, heads of science councils and professional bodies, and all the sponsors, funders and finalists, members of the media, the Mail and Guardian and Business Report newspapers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is really an honor to, on behalf of the Minister, deliver this address to the National Science Technology Forum South 32 Awards event, celebrated under the theme International Year of Plant Health, and on the occasion of the NSTF 25th anniversary. These awards, I'm told, takes place as South Africa, with the rest of the world, battles with COVID-19. The pandemic has altered society and negatively impacted economic activity globally. South Africans have been forced to change their behavior and adapt to deep systemic changes in order to keep themselves and the country safe. As a department, we've been mobilizing across the national, as a department, we've been mobilizing mobilizing across the national science innovation, especially amongst its entities and the entities of sister departments, specific initiatives that are currently being fast-tracked to support the government's response to the COVID-19 crisis. These initiatives included the following: deploying DSI-funded infrastructure to expand testing to COVID-19, biomanufacturing, molecular biology enzymes, reagents and testing kits, development of personal protective equipment, supporting good hygiene practice, coordinating efforts for a local COVID-19 vaccine manufacturing plant, and the technical support of the National Ventilator Project. As a department, we continue to work with our counterparts of all spheres, in all our spheres of government, in our continent, to ensure convergence of our technological advances and innovation. Convergence is as essential to our future knowledge society as to internal combustion engine was to the second industrial revolution. It is for this reason that I commend the President's visionary leadership for realigning the Department of Higher Education and Training and the Department of Science and Technology under a single ministry. The main reason is not simply to ensure greater administrative efficiency, cost containment, strategic alignment, but to drive the post-school knowledge and skills development imperative much more decisively. Ladies and gentlemen, we live in a period which challenges science to define its role and assume its place in our emerging nation. None of us will be persuaded of the utility of science to national growth and prosperity, but neither will we need to be reminded of its capacity to lend itself to destruction and repression. Whether knowledge is used for good or for evil depends on the goals to which we aspire and the decisions that we make as government, as scientists, and also as ordinary citizens. Therefore, these awards have a potential to play a critical role in the development of both science and the nation as a whole, and I'm pleased to be associated with the forum, or the Minister is actually pleased to be associated with the forum as patron of the awards. South Africa is a science sector that is growing in importance and also in science, but it will not grow fast and far enough unless we find ourselves more effective methods of interesting, capable school children in carving out careers in the sciences, in mathematics, in engineering, and also in established and emerging technologies. In this 2019-2020 financial year, our department supported 2,991 doctoral students and 8,632 pipeline students with bursaries. The targets of 84% of students supported at honors and master's levels are Black South Africans, and 61% are women. We're currently finalizing a new postgraduate funding policy that caters for full cost funding for financially needy students, particularly those who have been receiving the National Student Financial Aid Scheme, funding at undergraduate level and who are academically deserving. The department will then review a ministerial guidelines on achieving equity in the distribution of bursaries to monitor the new targets for funding financially needy students, in addition to the targets for race, gender, and nationality of funded students. The introduction of full cost funding will only reduce the total number of students funded annually as from 2021-2022 financial year when it is introduced. Therefore, the total number of students that will be funded in the current financial year remains unaffected by this policy change. In 2019-2020, our department also enrolled 751 interns through the DSI NRF internship program. These interns were placed at host institutions throughout the country to be guided and trained by experienced mentors. In addition, 340 graduates, youth volunteers were supported through the department's National Youth Service Program. Emerging researchers consist largely of postdoctoral fellows and early career researchers, from whom the NRF supports through various instruments. Ladies and gentlemen, we established the Tutuka Research Grant to provide support for emerging researchers in full-time, permanent, or fixed-term contract appointments at public universities and research institutions. As of the 2018-2019 financial year, a total of 562 Tutuka grant holders comprising 471 of 84%, 91 of 16% white, and 359 or 64% female were funded, while 358 students, which is 85% black and 62% female, were supported through the Tutuka grant holders linked bursaries. The NRF complements the New Generation of Academic Program, or NGAP, an initiative by the Department of Higher Education and Training, which is aimed at renewing and changing the gender and race profile of the academic and teaching workforce. A total of 467 NGAP post holders spanning 5 annual core had been allocated by 2019. Whilst the DSI provides research development grant funding to NGAP post holders who are studying for their PhDs and beyond. We continue, and I'm proud to say, to expand the South African Chairs Research Initiative. The number of chairs grew from 238 to 246 in 2019-2020. Some of these were the result of fruitful collaborations with other government departments and international organizations and partnerships with business and public research institutions. These initiatives also play a key role in increasing the country's supervisory capacity. In 2019-2020, over 2,000 postgraduate students and postdoctoral fellows benefited through supervision and provision of bursaries. As a department, we also contributed, we also continue to contribute and support 14 centers of excellence hosted by various public universities. The centers of excellence have concentrated on existing capacity and resources for researchers to collaborate across disciplines on long-term projects that are locally relevant and internationally competitive. The proportion of Black researchers supported increased from 40% in 2018 to 47% in 2019, while female representation increased from 39% to 45% in the same period. While there's been a gradual increase, more effort is required to transform the country's researcher workforce, and we remain committed to realizing this particular goal. We invested 1.498 billion in support for students, researchers, and interns in the 2019-20 financial year, with a projected total investment of 4.6 billion rands over the medium-term expenditure framework. In 2020-2021, these funds will support at least 9,300 pipeline honors and master's students and 3,100 PhD students, 4,000 researchers, and 550 interns. Our country's need for rapid expansion of its scientific and technological skills is quite immense. On your shoulders rest the challenges of giving science a face that inspires our youth to seek our science, engineering, and technology is part of that particular task. But it requires more. It also means orientating science in a practical and visible way towards helping meet basic needs. It means recognizing the intellectual challenge of applying knowledge to meeting such needs, rewarding achievements in that direction, and celebrating them with the highest honors. I therefore congratulate all the finalists in this year's NSTF Awards. In the years since this prestigious event was inaugurated, competition has become progressively tougher to the point where selection as a finalist is a greater honor, recognizing outstanding achievement. And I really wish to congratulate the brilliant students who will be recognized tonight, being first-year students with outstanding results in science and mathematics in matric last year and studying in science-related fields. I also congratulate those schools and young achievers who have been selected to attend here tonight. Also want to recognize the valuable achievements of those who supervised and mentored young researchers. Finally, I have the honor to congratulate the winners here tonight. Your work inspires us. Your research has opened our eyes to a new way forward. You renew our faith in what is possible and what is doable. We all salute you and thank you very much for listening.
Now, our event may be virtual, but our trophy is not, and no award ceremony is complete without the all-important trophy. Now, the 2019-2020 NSTF South 32 Awards is just getting started. I'm so proud tonight to recognize some of the brightest minds in science and technology. And honoring the finalists and presenting the 2019-2020 NSTF South 32 Awards is Mr. Dennis Hunt, who's the chairman of the NSTF Adjudication Panel, and the deputy chairman, Mr. Sibusiso Manzini, who will announce the winners.
Minister Dr. Nzimande, distinguished guests, NSTF members, finalists, students and other attendees on the internet. 255 nominations were registered this year. At the close of nominations in March, we received 141 nominations, of which 24 were nominated in more than one category. The full list of nominations received was published in April. The NSTF is proud of the extent to which achievers of our society have been prepared to make their names available for these awards and to tell us of their achievements. This is a tribute to the regard in which these awards are held and the commitment from the science and technology community to the objectives that the NSTF has set out to achieve. We make no apology for striving to reward research and development that has reached the level of delivering results for our economic growth. The special annual theme award this year is in the subject of plant health in recognition of the United Nations International Year of the Plant Health. We remain open to suggestions as to how the awards might be improved and to partner with members of the National System of Innovation on existing categories or new ones. Once again, the NSTF adjudication panel has had to be careful to avoid making an award for a contribution which has been previously recognised. This leads to some difficult decisions and interpretations for the panel. However, we do believe that it's important to encourage and recognise new work, new talent, and new faces. I'm especially grateful to my colleagues on the adjudication panel and their employers, as well as to the members of the panel of experts who are named in the Who's Who booklet, which has been published on the NSTF website, and who gave selflessly of their time to the selection of the finalists and the winners. A few words now on the protocol. A finalist, by our definition, is a nominee considered eligible for the award. A finalist has made a sufficiently outstanding contribution and qualifies to be considered in the category. The NSTF recognises and celebrates all the finalists. The 58 finalists were announced in the NSTF newsletter in May. In one sense, they are all winners. A certificate has been prepared for each finalist and has been emailed to each of them. This is the process for announcing the winners tonight. I, Dennis Hunt, as the chairman and head adjudicator of the NSTF adjudication panel, alternating with the deputy chair of the panel, Dr. Sibusiso Manzini, will announce the category. Our presentation will then show all the finalists in the category on your screen. We will then announce the winner, who will then be contacted to say a few words. If possible, the winner will appear live on your screen. If it is not possible to connect with the winner, a recording will be played. The NSTF Awards recognise outstanding contributions to science, engineering, technology and innovation in South Africa by individuals, teams and organisations across 13 different categories. Our first award, Special Annual Theme Award, Plant Health, goes to an individual or an organisation for an outstanding contribution to SET and innovation in recognition of the 2020 International Year of Plant Health, as declared by the United Nations, awarded according to the criteria in any of the other categories, but which meet this objective.
Special Annual Theme Award, Plant Health. All finalists in this category: Professor Ian Jubery, Professor Kirsten Kruger, Professor Zacharias Pretorius, Professor Mari Christine Ray, Dr. Abraham Singles, Professor Michael Wingfield.
For his contribution as a plant pathologist, globally recognized for a lifetime of contributions to the identification and management of plant diseases, as well as the education and mentorship of large numbers of plant pathologists and entomologists, the award goes to the Professor of Forestry and Agricultural Biotechnology Institute and advisor to the Executive, University of Pretoria, Professor Mike Wingfield.
Firstly, a very sincere thanks to NSTF for the incredible honour of receiving this important award. I do so with humility and appreciation. It's a privilege to be recognised by one's peers. But in so doing, it's important also to recognise that one's accomplishments rest on the incredible support and work of many other people, and I thank all of them. I recognise and thank my many incredible mentors, my amazing colleagues in South Africa and globally, and I must especially thank those incredible friends and colleagues at FABI, the Forestry and Agricultural Biotechnology Institute at the University of Pretoria. And of course, I have the privilege of a wonderfully supportive family that stand beside me. I do especially want to mention the other finalists for this award. They count amongst my friends and scientists that I admire and appreciate most. They all deserve this recognition as much as I might. As a plant pathologist and entomologist, receiving the NSTF award in the United Nations International Year of Plant Health is especially important to me. We are living in a world deeply threatened by pathogens, and SARS-CoV-2 has reminded us of this in a very dramatic way. But we must not forget that plant pathogens and insect pests deeply threaten the very existence of the human race on Earth. Our food, our water, and the very air we breathe. We must heed the warning before it's too late. Thank you so much again.
The next award goes to an NGO for an outstanding contribution over the last 5 to 10 years to science, engineering, and technology, including innovation, technology transfer, and education and training activities.
Non-Governmental Organization Award. Our finalists in this category: Federation for a Sustainable Environment, Motong African Heritage,
for their contribution through uniting scientists, government, and communities in nature conservation and technology innovation for socio-economic development using indigenous knowledge systems and modern sciences, the award goes to Motong African Heritage and their founder and leader, traditional Dr. Ephraim Baba Mapena.
Excuse. Ja, wat Dr. Mabena like met praat, nee. Daar kom hy nou. Hulle kan nie daai sien nie.
Well, we seem to be having connectivity problems, so we'll try and get hold of
Minister.
Dr. Baba. Dr. Baba, congratulations to the Motong African Heritage.
The Supreme Being, for the gift of life and wisdom.
Thank you very much. I can't believe it. I've made it.
My ancestors who bestowed us with knowledge to innovate on.
So how will you be celebrating tonight? With family, with friends? Are you going to be virtually sending congratulations and virtual high fives?
I'm overwhelmed. I'm actually with my family next to me. They were overtaken by just hearing that I've made it. I can't believe it. I can't. It's beyond me. I can't even explain. I can't believe it.
So how do you plan to celebrate tonight? Indoors, I hope.
They will direct me, and I'm actually having a glass of umkomboti next to me. We will be actually drinking umkomboti and celebrating.
Well, there you have it. Congratulations to Motong African Heritage for their prestigious award. We continue now with more of the awardees being recognized for the great work that's being done by science and technology, which is the NSTF.
Our next award is to an individual or a team for an outstanding contribution through communication for outreach and creating awareness of science, engineering, technology, and innovation over the last 5 years.
Communication Award. Our finalists in this category: Professor Christopher Henshelwood, Dr. Stephen Mufamadi, Dr. Rihanna Malchus Innes, Professor Janine Monovic. The Northwest University Teachers Without Borders Project, Professor Carolina Oderman. Vuwani Science Resource Center.
For leading and inspiring a team that promotes rooibos tea to be included in a personal daily regime as a health-promoting option supported by substantiated science, the award goes to the Research Chair in Biotechnology and Director Applied Microbial and Health Biotechnology Institute, Cape Peninsula Institute of University of Technology, Professor Janine Marnovic.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. With special acknowledgement to the Minister, Dr. Nzimande, the Director General, the NSTF Director and NSTF Chairperson. I'm extremely honored to be receiving this award and I'm really grateful for the recognition. As a scientist, I've always loved communicating my research findings to others. From the grade 3 learner to the members of the University of the Third Age, the rooibos farmer and the beverage industry members. Winning this award would not have been possible without the support and inspiration, and I sincerely thank Professor Kristen Schlapu, our VC, the dynamic media and communications team at the CPUT, my colleagues, students, and the South African Rooibos Council for helping me reach this stage. I thank you all.
We now come to the Innovation Awards. These awards go to a team or individual for innovations and their research and or development over the last 5 to 10 years. Firstly, through a small, medium or micro enterprise. The award is sponsored for the second year by the National Intellectual Property Management Office.
Innovation Award, SMME, sponsored by the National Intellectual Property Management Office. Our finalists in this category: Ministerial Technology Solutions Pty Limited, Memeza Shout Pty Limited,
For an innovative technology and social enterprise model answering to critical challenges faced by South Africans every day, that is reducing crime, improving SAPS service levels, and creating jobs through innovative communication technology and a private-public partnership, the award goes to Memeza Shout Pty Ltd, Director Ms. Tulile Mteto.
Memeza is a community-based crime prevention initiative that was started out of anger, out of sadness, out of pain. It was after I had been a repeat crime victim. Then we started working with the police, with the SAPS, with the Department of Community Safety to say, what if there was a panic button that when you press it, it will inform the police, it will inform CPF, it will inform the patrollers and the neighbors, as discussed at CPF, that I am in trouble. Then they were happy with that, and that's how Memeza was born. About giving a voice to the woman that is alone, that is experiencing crime. It's about empowering that woman to say something, to do something when she is in trouble.
Secondly, in the Innovation Awards, This award goes to a team or individual for an outstanding contribution through innovations in their research and/or development over the last 5 to 10 years through a corporate organization or institution.
Innovation Award Corporate Organization. Our finalists in this category: Professor Luke Chimuka. Green Team, CSIR, jointly with industry partners, Clive Tierbus Aromatics, Biodex Pty Limited, Purus Pty Limited, and Connect Me. Dr. Vahangwele Masindi. Dr. Tozama Kwebani Ogunleye. The Smart Spectrum Sharing Team, S3T.
For the development of an innovative smart spectrum sharing technology, S3T, for enabling more effective management of national spectrum resources and enabling wireless ICT systems to efficiently utilize unused spectrum channels, the award goes to the Smart Spectrum Sharing Team, S3T, Team Leader and Chief Research Scientist, Dr. Fisea Mercuria of the CSIR.
Hi, my name is Fisea Mercuria, and I'm one of the Chief Research Scientists at the CSIR. I would like to thank the NSTF for nominating the Smart Spectrum Sharing Team of the CSIR towards the NSTF award in the category of research leading to innovation. The Smart Spectrum Sharing technology is enabling broadband communication for the underserved areas and also making sure that we have SMMEs created around that technology. The CSIR is celebrating its 75 years, and we believe that the future is bright and more innovations covering the NSTF areas and under the fight for the pandemic will come through the CSIR research and development and innovation. Thank you, and I wish all the NSTF staff and the participants in the NSTF virtual awards gala all the best. Thank you. Bye.
The next award goes to an individual or an organization for an outstanding contribution to science, engineering, and technology by advancing the availability, management, and use of data for research.
Data for Research Award. Our finalists in this category: South African Population Research Infrastructure Network, Stellenbosch University Computed Tomography Facility Team,
For the conception, development, and implementation of a database which produces up-to-date information on health and socio-economic well-being, representative of South Africa's population for scientific analysis, embedding research projects and policy evaluation. The award goes to South African Population Research Infrastructure Network, SAPRIN, co-directors Professor Mark Collinson and Dr. Gopas Herbst, University of the Witwatersrand Rural Campus, Mpumalanga.
Hello, I'm Associate Professor Mark Collinson, and it's a real pleasure to be part of this award ceremony. Awards like these are great promoters of science in society, and that helps to see how important it is for human development. At SAPRIN, we are striving to build health and population research and knowledge that has benefit right from everyday people to the government setting policies and to a wide-ranging research community.
I'm Cobus Saps, the current SAP.
The next award
accomplished would not have been possible without the many years of effort by the surveillance teams and scientists at the Agincourt, Dimamu and Ari nodes, not to mention the support of the communities where the surveillance was done. I also wish to thank our funder, the Department of Science and Innovation, and SAPRIN's host institution, the South African Medical Research Council. Along the way, many people encouraged and supported us: Steve Tolman and Kathy Kahn, Robin Drennan, Jessica Singh, Dean Pillay, Richard Gordon, and Jeffrey Mpatlele. A big thanks to all of you.
The next award goes to an individual or an organization for an outstanding contribution towards achieving sustainable water management, knowledge generation and solutions, to be awarded in recognition of demonstrated leadership, innovation and impact. The award is sponsored for the 4th year by the Water Research Commission.
NSTF Water Research Commission Award, sponsored by the Water Research Commission. Our finalists in this category: Professor Tinus Boysen, Professor Faisal Bucks, Dr. Bahangwele Masindi, Professor Paul Oberholster, Dr. Abraham Singles.
For research which over the last 30 years has focused on investigating microbial contributions to wastewater treatment processes with emphasis on optimization and wastewater beneficiation, and a significant output of students and publications, the award goes to the Director and Professor of the Institute for Water and Wastewater Technology at the Durban University of Technology, also the DSI NRF Saatchi Chair, Wastewater Treatment at the Durban University of Technology, Professor Faisal Bucks.
Hi, I'm Faisal Bucks, Director of the Institute for Water and Wastewater Technology at the Durban University of Technology. It is indeed a pleasure and an honor and a privilege to be nominated as a finalist for the NSTF South 32 Awards. They call it the Oscars of the scientific community. And I am thrilled to be part of this event. This accolade is not only about me, but a team of people and organizations that have made this journey possible. And I would like to thank, first and foremost, DUT for providing me with the ideal environment to grow, my postgraduate students, postdocs, industry partners, and collaborators. Funding agencies, especially the National Research Foundation, Water Research Commission, Technology Innovation Agency, and DSI and DHET, Department of Higher Education and Training. International funding agencies and partners, of which there are many. NSTF for giving me the opportunity, and if I've forgotten anyone, please accept my appreciation. I certainly am ecstatic, and thank you all.
The next award goes to an individual or an organization for an outstanding contribution towards achieving biodiversity conservation, environmental sustainability, and a greener economy. The award is sponsored for the 2nd year by the Lewis Foundation.
NSTF Lewis Foundation Green Economy Award, sponsored by the Lewis Foundation. Our finalists in this category: Professor Tinus Boyson, Professor Leslie Brown, Professor Kirsten Kruger, Dr. Vahangwele Masindi, SharkSafe Pty Limited, Professor Johannes van Niekerk.
For the design, testing, marketing, and providing a number of units into the market of the first shark-specific barrier, which is eco-friendly and can protect swimmers and surfers without harming the marine life. The award goes to SharkSafe Pty Ltd, CEO and co-inventor, Professor Conrad Mathie, Department of Botany and Zoology, University of Stellenbosch.
The SharkSafe team, by name Sarah Andreotti, Mike Ratson, Craig O'Connell and myself, would hereby like to thank the National Science and Technology Forum and South 32 for bestowing this award upon us. We'd also like to give credit to Innovis at Stellenbosch University for making the nomination. The SharkSafe inventors and the development team are truly honored to receive this award, and through this we believe that we will be able to permanently solve the global conservation and socio-economic tribulations associated with human-shark conflict. We thank you sincerely.
We now proceed to the Engineering Research Capacity Development Awards. There are 2 awards sponsored by Eskom since 2003. One to a male and one to a female, to researchers for engineering research capacity development over the last 5 to 10 years. Eskom has been sponsoring these awards for 15 years.
Engineering Research Capacity Development Award, sponsored by Eskom. Our finalists in this category: Professor Walter Falk, Professor Daniel Hatting, Professor Joshua Meyer, Professor Piliswa Nosizo Nomgongo, Dr. Abimola Olukemi Windapo,
for training, nurturing, and mentoring students in the construction discipline, and management researcher who confronts the problems of poor project and organization performance from a practice perspective. The female winner is Dr. Abimbola Olukemi Windapo, Associate Professor, Department of Construction Economics and Management at the University of Cape Town.
Thank you very much for conferring me with the Engineering Research and Capacity Development Award.
Congratulations, Dr. Windapo. I can hear the virtual applause. I'm sure there'll be celebrations later. I mean, what an accolade.
For the Male Engineering Capacity Development Award.
Thank you very much. I humbly accept the award. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Windapo. There we go. An exceptional award sponsored by Eskom in the Engineering Research Capacity Development.
For the Male Engineering Capacity Development Award in this category, for training, nurturing, and mentoring students through his research into the technical aspects of clean energy, which include renewable energy and the associated heat transfer. The award goes to the Professor and Head of Department of Mechanical and Aeronautical Engineering and Chair, School of Engineering, Built Environment and Information Technology, University of Pretoria, Professor Joshua P. Mayer.
Thank you, Chair. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to say thank you very much. I'm generously pleased and honored to receive this prestigious award. I am humbled, and this award has caused me to further reflect on what has made this recognition possible. In this regard, I want to mention the management of the University of Pretoria, who has always supported me. Then most importantly, my creator that has blessed me with the privilege of so many absolute brilliant students whose brains I had the privilege to change by stretching, compressing, twisting and molding it. I have the deepest respect for all of them and admire their intellect, rigor, commitment and determination. I would like to thank all of them, especially for their patience to put up with all my nonsense and demanding questions. This award would not have been possible without them. Thank you very much.
Our next category is the award to an individual for an outstanding contribution to science, engineering, and technology and innovation through management and related activities over the last 5 to 10 years.
Management Award. Our finalists in this category: Professor Judith Kinnaird, Mr. Navin Singh, Professor Frederick van Niekerk,
For the directing of economic geology research studies on metals for everyday needs, now and for the future, the award goes to Associate Professor and Director, Economic Geology Research Unit, Co-Director, Department of Science and Innovation, Center of Excellence for the Study of Mineral and Energy Deposits, School of Geosciences, University of the Witwatersrand, Professor Judith Kinnaird.
I'm honored to receive this award. After all, I've just been doing my job, albeit one that I've been passionate about. I've had great opportunities in my career as the first female president of the International Society of Economic Geologists, and I've been fortunate to have been co-director of the National Center of Excellence, KIMERA, for the study of minerals and energy, a center that is nationally relevant and internationally competitive. At the Center of Excellence, I've been able to make a difference to people's lives and careers, constantly encouraged by Professors Roger Gibson and Paul Nex, and my assistant Dan Duarte. I'm passionate about my research, and I have greatly appreciated the financial support from mining and exploration companies for the work of myself and my postgrads, the next generation of geologists and leaders. I would like to thank my nominators, Professor Drennan and Vilakazi, and Ray Durham, who encouraged me to complete this application, the NSTF, and for the panel who judged me to receive this award. Thank you very much.
Our next category is the T.W. Kambuli NSTF Awards to Emerging Researchers for research and its outputs over a period of up to 6 years of research work from the commencement of the research career, predominantly in South Africa. The grants that accompany these awards have been sponsored by PROCET, the professional society sector of the NSTF, for a 4th year. We have 2 winners in this category.
T.W. Kambule, NSTF Award Emerging Researcher. Prizes sponsored by PROCET. Our finalists in this category: Dr. Mahubaba Raman Chaudhary, Professor Lisa Dutoy Lee Shong, Dr. Vainant J. Husin, Dr. Bahangwele Masindi, Professor Prakashni Govender, Professor Piliswa Nosizo Nomngongo, Professor Benita Olivier, Professor Richard Walls, Dr. Jacqueline Womersley,
For our first award in this category, through a significant contribution in the field of environmental monitoring and wastewater treatment, specializing in the valorization and beneficiation of wastewater through drinking water reclamation and mineral synthesis, the award goes to the research scientist at Magalies Water and principal researcher at the CSIR, research fellow at the University of South Africa, and part-time lecturer at the University of Venda, Dr. Vashangweli Masindi.
Thank you very much for this prestigious accolade. Above everything, I would like to thank the Almighty God for the gift of life and this award. However, I would like to acknowledge the following institutions, organizations, and individuals. Firstly, I will start with my employer, Magalies Water, for the conducive platform that they afforded me so that I can do my research and the trust they had to me in managing their research and development portfolio. The University of South Africa, where I'm affiliated as a research fellow, for their support and collaboration, and my relationship with Professor Tekere that is fully crystallized. I also acknowledge that the CSIR, where everything started from, for their support, for their funding, and for their guidance, and also the team of highly experienced researchers within the organization that assisted a lot in the development of my pilot plans and the realization of my research goals and initiatives. The likes of Mohamed Osman and Rulani Shingonyane under the management of Renette Mbele, and the University of Venda, because everything stemmed out of there. This project was part of my PhD project from the University of Venda, but we further refined it at the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research and realized its potential and its futuristic goal in addressing the challenges that the country is facing as a whole. Hence, you see this technology was patented in the state, Australia, and other countries to show that it's an international accepted technology. It's going to have an impact in international fraternity of research. And also my family for their moral support, my wife, my kids, and my siblings for their support throughout my journey, my research journey, and the community where I come from, in Mukula village in Thohoyandou, for their moral support. It takes the whole community to raise a child. With those few words, I thank you.
For our second award in this category, for a contribution through the conduct of research and establishment of the Fire Engineering Research Unit at Stellenbosch University, and education to improve informal settlement fire safety, as well as structural fire design, both crucial to ensuring safety in our communities. The award goes to the Associate Professor of the Fire Engineering Research Unit at Stellenbosch University, Professor Richard Walls.
Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here, and thanks to the NSTF and South 32 for this award. It's a real pleasure, a privilege to receive it. And thank you to the many people who've helped over the past few years. Celeste and Nico for the nomination, for Henny de Klerk, who had a crazy idea of starting fire engineering. And then the many wonderful organizations who've allowed us to burn lots of things over the years. City of Cape Town, Breda Valley Municipality, Western Cape Disaster Management, Fire Rescue Services. They have helped us incredibly over many years supporting research and development of our field. Ignis Testing for sponsoring lots of research and testing work. Various funders, the Lloyd's Register Foundation, the Royal Academy of Engineers, amongst others. And then also just Stellenbosch University in general. The team has been incredibly supportive, along with all the students. I'm really tonight taking credit for the work of my students, postdocs, PhDs, masters, undergrads, team members. It's been an absolute privilege working with a wonderful team over the years, and to my family who've had to put up with a lot of difficulty, a lot of long hours, but a huge amount of thanks to my wife and my two kids who have, my wife who's lovingly helped and my kids who've lovingly hindered. And then, yeah, we hope going forward we can continue to make a difference, as Colossians 3:23 says, whatever you do, do it with all your heart as to the Lord. Hopefully it's some way we can get that right, and hopefully it's some way we can make a small difference in this country. Thank you all.
Our next category is the T.W. Kambule NSTF Researcher Award to an individual for research and its outputs over a period of 6 up to 15 years of research work from the commencement of the research career.
T.W. Kambule, NSTF Awards Researcher. Our finalists in this category: Professor Jennifer Broadhurst, Professor Rose Hayeshi, Dr. Sharif Hendricks, Professor Victoria Jadini, Professor Christine Lochner, Professor Salome Mamokone Matlo, Professor Wanda Marcotta, Professor Vernon Somerset, Professor Liesel Zalker,
for conducting research into neuropsychiatric disorders, including obsessive compulsive and related disorders, and fostering a multidisciplinary approach incorporating a biopsychosocial focus. The award goes to the Co-Director, South African Medical Research Council Unit on Risk and Resilience in Mental Disorders, Department of Psychiatry, Stellenbosch University, Professor Christine Lochner.
Ladies and gentlemen, under the current circumstances facing the COVID-19 pandemic, we've all been reminded of the importance of protecting our health and the health of those around us. And I, for one, have also been reminded of the importance of mental health, and that there can really be no health without mental health. I am very glad for the opportunity to put mental health on the front burner tonight. Mental disorders remain major contributors to the global burden of disease, and their contribution is rising, especially in developing countries like South Africa. It should also be kept in mind that mental disorders will also occur in the majority of people with other serious conditions like HIV/AIDS, for example. My research aims to contribute to increased awareness and knowledge and destigmatization of some of these impairing conditions. And I hope that my work will ultimately translate into increased accuracy of diagnosis and better care. So in conclusion, I'm delighted, grateful for being acknowledged by NSTF, and I thank this forum for playing such an important role in recognizing contributions to science, engineering and technology and innovation in South Africa. And I would also like to express my gratitude to my supporting family at home, and my colleagues working alongside me, and also to my mentors. And I will do my utmost in future to continue clinging to their coattails. Thank you very much.
Our next and final award is to an individual for an outstanding contribution to science, engineering, and technology over a lifetime. The Department of Science and Innovation has been sponsoring the NSTF Awards for 22 years.
Lifetime Award. Our finalists in this category: Professor William Bond, Professor Faisal Burks, Professor Raymond Darame, Professor Zacharias Pretorius, Professor Michelle Ramsey, Professor Marie Christine Ray, Professor Leslie Swartz, Professor Robert Wilkinson, Professor Michael Wingfield.
For pioneering genomic medicine approaches in Africa and leading a transcontinental genomics project that seeks to uncover the genetic and environmental factors that contribute towards obesity, hypertension, diabetes, and kidney disease in Africans, the award goes to the Professor of Genetics and Director of the Sydney Brenner Institute of Molecular Bioscience and the DSI NRF Saatchi Chair in Bioinformatics and Genomics of African Populations at the University of the Witwatersrand, Professor Michelle Ramsey.
Good evening, everybody. It's a great honor to receive this prestigious award in recognition of the lifetime work that I've done in the field of human genetics. I always say that every day in the life of a scientist is a journey of discovery, and my field has been no exception. When I first started my PhD, I couldn't have dreamt that it would be possible one day to sequence whole human genomes at affordable prices. Yet, due to technological innovation, it is now possible to do so. And we have the pleasure of exploring genetic diversity to understand more about the history of the peoples of Africa, and also to study genetic variation in the context of health and disease. There are a great number of people that I'd like to thank who've contributed to the work I've been able to do. And I'd like to start with my students. I've been privileged to work with enormously talented and hardworking students who teach me so much on a daily basis. Then I'd like to thank my colleagues who've been enormously supportive throughout my career and with whom I really enjoy working. And then, of course, to my collaborators, both here in South Africa, but on the African continent and in the world. And then to thank the leadership of the University of the Witwatersrand for the support that they've given me to be able to do my work. And I'd also like to thank the funders because really they are the ones who believe that we can do the research that we do, and without them, we wouldn't be able to do so. And finally, I'd really like to thank my family for their tremendous support throughout my scientific career and for walking this journey with me every day. Thank you again for this recognition of my work in human genetics over the past 30-odd years. Thank you.
And all the amazing winners, a huge congratulations from us at the NSTF. Well, I can tell you this has been an exceptional award ceremony. It has been a bit sad that we couldn't be live with our winners, but the virtual ones where you're safe at home with your families, enjoying this moment and just taking it all in. So congratulations to all tonight and to the National Science and Technology Forum for celebrating 25 years. We look forward to another 25 years. Now, we've come to that part of the evening where we bring back a woman driven with purpose, driven with passion to provide solutions. Ladies and gentlemen, the National Science and Technology Forum's Executive Director, who's my inspiration, and she's an inspiration to so many, Ms. Yancy Niehaus.
Congratulations to the 2020 NSTF South 32 award winners. I hope you're experiencing this award as a crown on your work and perhaps as an important milestone. For the coming year, you're invited to participate in a youth outreach program called the NSTF Share and Dare program. You're given the opportunity to share your knowledge and experiences and insight and to dare the youth to follow you by doing maths and science and pursuing science-related studies and careers. Literally thousands of young people are reached through this program. The program has been sponsored by the Carl and Emily Fuchs Foundation, for which we are truly grateful for the 4th year now. To all our valued sponsors, the recognition of outstanding contributions to science, engineering, technology, and innovation are only possible with all of your support. We particularly appreciate your involvement this year when all private and public activities and spending have been curtailed by the COVID-19 pandemic. Despite the economy being under even more strain than previous years, we believe that science, engineering, technology, and innovation are of critical importance to any country, and especially for ours, and even more than in previous years. Thank you to our first faithful sponsor, the Department of Science and Innovation, as it's now known, for being a founding member of the NSTF itself and for its support since the beginning for the NSTF Awards. A big thank you to another faithful friend, South 32. Having reliable partners like you and the department is an ongoing endeavor, in an ongoing endeavor like the awards, is of immeasurable value. The substantial involvement of both South 32 and the department makes these awards a true and successful public-private partnership. This is the 5th year that South 32 is our co-branding sponsor, and we are grateful to them for continuing the sponsorship for the next 5 years. Our 4 category sponsors are NSTF's partners in recognizing outstanding work in priority areas and causes. Namely, it is of critical importance to our country to find long-term solutions to the water crisis, which has been made painfully obvious by the pandemic. Thank you to the Water Research Commission. Increasing engineering research capacity development is relevant not only to ESCOM, but to all the developmental goals of our country. Thank you once again, ESCOM. Thank you to the Lewis Foundation. Your category provides the opportunity to give recognition to important work related to conserving the natural environment and promoting a green economy. Thank you to NIPMO for your 2nd year of participation as a sponsor. The Innovation Award for a small, medium, or micro enterprise allows us to recognize innovators and the founding of small businesses based on innovative technology. The cash prize can make the difference between taking off or floundering. Thank you once again to ProSet, the professionals in science, engineering and technology, for providing research grants to the winners of the Emerging Researcher category. Thank you to those of you who have paid a donation in lieu of buying a table or seats. These donations allow the NSTF to continue its activities as a non-profit company on behalf of the science community. Thank you to all the NSTF committees whose members give freely of their valuable time. Thank you to my team of 4 who worked remotely to prepare this event for the hard work and the long hours that you've put in. And thank you to our long-standing service providers for an excellent production of this new format of the event. Last but not least, our media partners for their excellent and ongoing support, the Business Report and the Mail and Guardian. We cannot thank you enough for your partnership and support during these most difficult times. Both the Business Report and Mail and Guardian have produced a supplement telling the stories of the 2020 award winners and the science behind their work. Thank you also to those of you who took out advertisements to make these 2 supplements possible. Please support these newspapers tomorrow by buying your copy, or better still, subscribe to these newspapers to support the free press in South Africa, which, as you know, is under extreme pressure. We look to the press to find us the facts that matter, to highlight the science behind developments, and to provide analysis of politics, economics, and society in a reliable manner. On a final note, if your organization is not yet a member of the NSTF, please join us. The NSTF continuously strives to represent all voices in South Africa relevant to science, engineering, technology, and innovation. Simply apply online at nstf.org.za and note that the membership fees are very modest. That concludes the 2020 NSTF South 32 Awards event. We hope you enjoyed it and that you were inspired by South Africa's outstanding researchers and other top professionals. Thanks to all of you for watching, no matter where you are, and stay safe.
I know I had an absolute blast. I know you got to the bathroom whenever you wanted, and you're not even wearing shoes right now. I hope you're feeling rejuvenated and that tonight's show gave you the energy. There is more work to be done when it comes to science and technology. From me, Zai Khan, good night and be well.